so many niece and nephew asking Uncle Roger to review Nick Di Giovanni making ramen.
Ramen. I've been wanting to make this forever, but now is the time.
This guy Harvard graduate, MasterChef finalist, and have the smoothest baby face out there for you. Let's see how he do. Before we start, my nephew Nigel trying out new character on his podcast. He is Uncle Roger, long lost Italian cousin.
Zio Ruggiero.
Why?
Because people be up carbonara. No cream in carbonara, mamma mia.
Link in description. Give that clip a like. Maybe he will review bad BBC food carbonara video.
I know so many of you have asked for ramen for so long. So today, we're making tonkatsu ramen.
What he say? What he say?
So today, we're making tonkatsu ramen.
Tonkatsu. Nephew Nick, I think you mean tonkotsu. In Japanese, ton mean pork, kotsu mean bone. So tonkotsu ramen makes sense. It's pork bone ramen. But katsu mean cutlet. So tonkatsu mean fried piece of pork. That completely different thing. Say it properly. Tonkotsu. Tonkotsu.
I've already started a couple things. So for now, let's pop back to yesterday when I hadn't shaved yet, and we'll go to an Asian market. So we've just pulled up to this.
This is him with stubble. Uncle Roger can grow better beard than you. Hiya.
Some unique and awesome ingredients here. So the first things we're gonna grab is a bunch of pork bones and chicken bones for that really flavorful stock.
Pork bone, chicken bone, correct. But nephew Nick, iron your shirt. Hiya. Harvard graduate, can't afford iron.
It's like -8 million degrees in here. I'm frigid.
Oh, you should join Team Auntie Helen. She frigid also.
Well, we got the pork belly, so let's get home and make some ramen. There's nothing like a good Japanese eggplant. Gotta find a place to put this for the drive.
Ugh. Uncle Roger wish I didn't see that. Nephew Nick, apologize to the children. Hiya.
I'm gonna start making that amazing ramen broth. First, I'm gonna go in with all my chicken wings. Next, I'm gonna start taking these pork hocks that we got from the Asian grocery store.
Pork hock?
As you can see here, there is some meat on the outsides there, but you got a nice big chunk of bone in there, tons of flavor.
No. Pork hock, too much meat on there. You should be using pork bone, not pork hock. If you make tonkotsu broth with hock, you're gonna have too much meat falling off from broth. Make it dirty.
Once I've tossed in all those pork bones, I'm gonna go ahead and add my last bit of protein in there, which are duck wings.
Duck wing? Nobody use duck wing for tonkotsu. Hiya. We use pork bone and maybe chicken bone, but I think nephew Nick want to kill all the animal. Why don't you put elephant wing in there also?
I'm gonna cover all of this up with some nice cold and crisp water, then crank up the heat and bring this to a nice rolling boil.
Niece and nephew, screenshot this image and send to your vegan friend, because this is vegan's worst nightmare. They see that even dead animals have more company than them.
Once this has come to a rolling boil, clear off some of the scum that begins to form on the top. Some people will tell you to rinse this all the way out, but I like to keep all the flavor that's still in there from the bone, so I don't like to rinse it out.
No, you have to rinse out, otherwise your broth gonna be so dirty. Hiya. Look at your water. Look at your water. It's so pink already because there's so much scum in animal bone. It looks bad, but it also tastes weird. You need to soak water overnight, throw water away, clean the bone, and start over with fresh water. Hiya. Uncle Roger predict nephew Nick broth gonna be so dirty. Let's see if I correct.
Now is when we let this go overnight for 12 hours. This is gonna
okay, 12 hours, okay.
Next, we'll do our chashu pork belly. Now, this part you don't have to do overnight, but I'm gonna sous vide it to get it really soft and tender.
Ooh, he's sous vide pork belly. This nephew's so fancy.
So I'm gonna let this go overnight as well. This pork has been very bad, so we have to tie it up. First,
Ew, don't spank your dinner. Get room and spank your girlfriend. Leave the poor pork alone.
For our sous vide, the first thing we'll do is put this finely rolled up pork into a nice large bag. Add 4 cloves of garlic, a few hunks of ginger, green onion, soy sauce. Try to make
ingredient not bad.
Mirin.
Okay.
1/3 cup of this extremely pungent fish sauce.
Fish sauce a bit weird.
Sugar, about a half a cup or so. Then inside the bag, we're gonna massage the heck out of our meat.
Stop it. Stop it, Hiya. Are you making cooking video or auditioning for Bang Bros? I feel bad for this guy's girlfriend now. I think he will do to girlfriend what he do to pork belly. Spank her, tie her up, and dip her in fish sauce. That actually sounds quite nice. Sorry, children.
Now we're gonna roll this up extremely
Okay,
tight
but at least he marinate the meat, so not like Jamie Oliver, white pork belly.
And cook this overnight for about 12 to 15 hours. Okay, it's the next morning. I was tending to that ramen broth throughout the night.
Oh really? I thought you would be spanking someone.
We blew the fuse 3 times last night. So let's start with our soft-boiled eggs. Now that our water is boiling, we're ready to add those eggs. But first, we're gonna add about a tablespoon or 2 of vinegar, which is actually gonna prevent running of the whites of any of these eggs.
Running off the whites, that's what Uncle Roger called every marathon hour.
I'll drop in my 6 eggs, place on the lid, but we're gonna do it for 6 minutes and 9 seconds, which I promise you, it sounds silly, but it's the perfect time for a soft-boiled egg.
6 minutes 9 seconds. Hiya, another dirty joke by this guy. I can't believe this guy video dirtier than my Nigella Lawson video.
Here I have a really cold ice bath.
Good technique.
Straight into the ice bath to halt their cooking. For our ramen egg marinade, we'll combine 3/4 cup of mirin, 1/4 cup soy sauce, dark soy sauce. If you can't find dark soy sauce,
Ingredient all correct.
now it's time to peel our eggs. But I just wanted to show you guys first how perfect that yolk on the inside. I told you, it's amazing.
Uncle Roger feel like I need shower after watching this video.
Drop them right in that soy bath. I'll cover these with plastic wrap and allow them to soak for several hours.
Niece and nephew, you see this? If you use plastic wrap like this, the top of egg won't be marinated because it's touching plastic, not the liquid. It will have one white spot on it. Pro tip, use paper towel, like how Way of Ramen channel do with egg.
Our eggs are all set. Next, we're gonna make our tare. It's a really
He making tare. This already better than Jamie and Nigella ramen. Tare is the soul of ramen. It's the flavoring for the broth.
First, we're gonna start with our dashi. Add about 3.5 to 4 cups of water, 3 sheets of kombu, and really let this heat up, but we don't wanna boil it. We're actually looking to
Correct. Don't boil kombu.
Basically, dashi is this umami-packed Japanese soup stock. It's used in so many different things, and this is how we're gonna build the foundation.
This guy really loves shot of his hand. So many close-up of his hand. Is he hand model of something? Imagine if Uncle Roger make cooking video and all you see is
Cup of bonito flakes,
Okay.
dried shiitake mushrooms. I'll turn off the heat and set it aside. Once that incredible dashi is done, we'll strain it into a nice large.
Oh, pour too fast, some liquid fell out. Don't waste food.
But now, keeping about 2 cups of our dashi, we'll create our tare by adding 1 cup of soy sauce.
Oh, good.
1 cup
This
of
tare
mirin,
look like it
1/2
got so
cup of
much
sake,
umami,
2
so no
tablespoons
need
of vinegar,
MSG.
6 cloves of garlic, and then about 2 tablespoons of black peppercorns. Now we're gonna let
Okay,
our
tare,
sit
not
just
bad.
like Now for our ramen. Please do not use dry instant ramen noodles. This is an absolute no-go.
Correct. Don't use packet instant ramen. And also, don't use soba like Jamie Oliver. But Uncle Roger don't recommend niece and nephew make ramen at home. Tonkotsu ramen noodle, very hard to get right at home. Just buy from store. Support your local Japanese store.
Ramen noodles are very different in that they need to be alkalinated. That's
Correct.
basically just a fancy way of saying that we put baking soda in the dough. But another
Small correction. Baking soda is sodium bicarbonate. But ramen, you need sodium carbonate. Uncle Roger, so chemistry.
switch on that spaghetti head, and then you're ready to roll.
I have to say, it looked pretty good.
These look absolutely fantastic. Get it with a nice spray of bread flour, just so nothing sticks. Now, our ramen is ready to be cooked. Right here is our 20...
What? What? That is disgusting. Why this ramen broth look like this? This look like roadkill. Tonkotsu broth not supposed to look like dirt water. Hiya. This what it's supposed to look like. If your ramen broth look like mud, you fucked up. Uncle Roger, right? I predicted earlier his ramen broth gonna be so dirty. He didn't wash his bone, he didn't throw out water, and his bone have too much meat on there. This broth as dirty as nephew Nick brain.
Gotta find a place to put this for the dry. This pork has been very bad. 6 minutes and 9 seconds.
This broth messier than Auntie Helen and my divorce.
We're gonna strain off all this broth to make it nice and smooth.
Even if you strain, you can't strain out the brown color.
Next we have our chashu, which is our Japanese pork belly. What you're looking at here is pork belly that's cooked the entire night, but I just can't help it. I have to spank it. Lastly though, I do want you to look at the meat on the sides there. Soft, perfectly tender pulled pork. Pork belly, it's been a pleasure getting to know you these last 24 hours, but now it's time to cut it.
No, don't cut pork belly when it's hot. It's not solid enough. You have to take pork belly out, chill it overnight, and then cut it when it's colder. First you spank pork belly and then you cut it when it's warm. What have pork belly done to deserve this? I have to put my leg down from chair again. It's gonna go all over the place.
So let's get a couple of nice slices just right through.
See?
You know, it's funny. It's almost so soft and tender that I can't really get any slices, but give it
what I tell you. What I tell you?
So that's good enough for me. Once I've pulled off the pork belly's thong, I can get a few more good slices.
If you chop like this,
too tender to do what we're looking for.
You're just making pulled pork now. This is not chashu.
Now it's time to finally open up those soft-boiled eggs. First, let's cross our fingers that we got that color from those eggs. Just to show you a little spot on the top of the egg that was not submerged.
See? Uncle Roger predicted this also.
We're gonna cut through that egg. Very clean and keeping all of that yolk inside.
Texture good. Texture very good.
I've clearly gotten some of that soy.
Maybe you can submerge a bit more time because you see it brown on outside, white on inside, just like Auntie Hersha.
And boy oh boy aren't those yolks incredible. Just look at how soft and amazing it is. Now we've reached the final shot where we assemble. I know this is the moment you've all been waiting for, so let's get started.
His hand again.
After mixing it around a little bit, I'll place in a nice spoonful or two of my tare. That's gonna
go in.
Then comes my actual broth. The whole top layer
is dirty broth.
So it's amazing to finally be able to put it into the bowl. Where are the actual ramen noodles? Those should be placed into this hot broth immediately when they finish. So into this pot, those should be placed into this hot broth immediately.
You say it should be placed immediately, but then you haven't even prepared ramen to go in. Does the word immediately mean something different to you? You should cook the ramen beforehand and everything go in at the same time. Don't cook ramen after you start plating. Because when you're cooking ramen, the broth gonna get cold high.
And once it's boiling over very high heat, I'll toss in our ramen. And then for just a minute and 30 seconds or so, we'll let this cook. Admire how amazing my
look a bit soft.
And after 1 or 2 shakes, put it directly into my ramen broth. And now we're ready for that final plating. So in go our enoki mushrooms.
That's so much enoki. It feels like you're having enoki with side of ramen.
Then we'll go right in the middle with those gorgeous eggs. Then we have our beautiful pork. Then a nice generous handful of green onions. And last but not least, some nori that I've actually gotten straight.
Nori weird shape.
There is one of the most gorgeous ramen bowls I've ever seen. Now, before we eat this, I want to paint the pork in a little bit more fat. And then just give it a little
fancy. Torching. Yeah, but torching good. But don't torch your pork next to the egg. You're gonna cook the egg by accident. Torch it elsewhere. Your house so big, go find some other room to torch your pork.
Now our ramen is ready to eat. I do want to say that this is one of the most beautiful bowls of ramen I've ever seen.
Okay, this ramen better than Nigella and Jamie ramen because he actually make tare. But nephew Nick, tonkotsu supposed to be white, creamy and sexy, not like brown water. That's the biggest mistake he made. But Uncle Roger like how much effort he put in. He making noodle from scratch. That's not easy. Out of 5 components of ramen, I think he have at least 4. He forgot to make aroma oil. Nephew Nick, next time clean your pork bone. Don't cut pork belly when it's hot. And no more spanking in cooking video. Uncle Roger's so glad I back wearing my orange polo. Not tank top because niece and nephew get so thirsty. Maybe next video, Uncle Roger will read all the thirst comments left by niece and nephew. Let me know if I should do it. Comment down below. This guy Harvard graduate, MasterChef finalist, and have smoothest baby face in whole. Get a room and spank girlfriend instead. Leave pork alone. Pork didn't do shit. Sorry, Nick's girlfriend. Are you making cooking video or auditioning for Bang Bros? Running off the whites, that's what I call every Black Friday sale. Nephew Nick, next time clean your bone. I don't know, that sounds dirty. Not like that. Uncle Roger don't mean dirty like that.